Alright, so we figured out the situation was that the actual legs, unfortunately, to my dismay, which I warned about in the beginning, were actually on incorrectly. So we adjusted, and also you'll note that this split is actually sideways now because the hole was supposed to line up precisely with the pole there, hence the geriatric injured type of a movement that will later be much more prominent once this contraption is built. So now these are going to line up just like this, like they should have before, if I would have done it correctly. But this is kind of what I was talking about with the weight. Sometimes it is a bit challenging to get them on there, but nonetheless, you get them on there. Watch out for your finger like that, because that does hurt a little bit. But it is in there, both are popped on. So now, yeah, this does kind of wobble a little bit, but that's kind of going to be the effect, I think, once we turn them on, because he's probably going to be moving around with that animation there a bit. So now we've got step 7 complete. Step 8 is attach the hip hoop part F to the torso frame part E by sliding it over the torso frame, then connecting the metal prongs into their slots on the bottom of the torso frame. So let's go ahead and find this hip here. Right here, head. It doesn't really specify, of course, whether this piece here goes in the front or the back. I would imagine it goes in the front, but let's take a look to see actually if this specifies, or if you can see in the directions anywhere at all. Attach the hip part F to the torso for B. It really, well, in the manual it shows it to the back, but I don't know if that's really, you can't tell from the photo here, but we'll go on to step 9 and see if that gives any clarity. Connect the pants part O to the hip hoop part F by attaching Velcro strips around the hip hoop itself. Okay, so maybe, I'm guessing it goes in the front. It's still, no, this doesn't really actually say. I really can't tell from this. So I guess we'll go ahead and put it in the front for now, but maybe it might not line up. Oh, we're gonna go all the way over here. And then sometimes these really don't line up. It's like, surely gonna make me do all this. Yep. So we'll go ahead and connect that and keep it in the front for now. If it looks really bad, then we can change it up. But actually sometimes, yeah, okay. So here's what they don't really tell you, and I've only learned this by experience. If you look here, you see how this hole is actually much wider, and then this prong is very skinny. So there means that this is actually much thicker to go in the thick hole, and this hole is actually way skinnier. So I wish that they would actually just clarify that in the instructions, because it would make it look much more simpler. So yeah, I got a 50-50 chance of getting this right, and so far I'm like 0 for 2 on every single aspect of it. So anyways, let's go on and move on to step 8. It looks like attach hip part, blah, did that. 9, connect the pants part O to the hip hoop part F by attaching Velcro strips around the hip hoop itself. So yeah, I was noticing that there are Velcro strips. There's about 1, 2, maybe 3, maybe 4. Yeah, actually 4. So each one, it's really simple. You just kind of like that. I was wondering when I was putting the pants up exactly what that would be for, because again, that's kind of something that I haven't really seen too much of, to Velcro around the hip hoop. So it's kind of a cool little feature that will help it really stay on pretty well, I think. So there. Alright, now we've got the pants on and up. Step 10, slide the shirt pant in, over, and down the torso frame part E. It's pretty fairly self-explanatory, and take a look at that. You can already see an injury, blue little blood, whatever you want to call that. But yeah, that was from that. So take precaution when building these things. It's not always the most fun thing to do. But anyways, slide shirt in, over and down torso frame part E. This one does have Velcro on. I'll go ahead and unvelcro it just to make it a little bit easier. Slide over here, just like so. It's going on pretty easily. So you'll see that this left side over here, and now I understand why there's only one piece that was kind of a little bit different. It's not symmetrical at all because his left side is going to be his injured side, hence this over here on that broken foot. So I don't know what happened to poor Gerry here. Maybe he got ran over by a car, or I'm not sure exactly what his injury was that caused him such affliction, but you know, either way it goes, he should be in pretty good shape here in a bit. So we'll go ahead and pull that down and over. Looks like pull it right over the hip. So there. Yeah, pretty nice looking. Dressed well. And next we're gonna go ahead and move to step 11, which says slide the right arm part J up through the right sleeve of shirt part N, then slide the forked hook into the right shoulder in quotation. Interestingly, slot on the torso frame part E. Repeat this step for the left arm part K. So okay, so that, remember how we looked at that one arm that was kind of really flimsy? I think that's going to be the maybe the broken arm that goes on this side, which would explain a little bit of the movement. And then I think his hatchet will go on the other side that he holds. So yeah, we'll go ahead and slide this arm up through the sleeve. Although that's not really the right side, it would be his left. I guess maybe if you're facing it, it would be the right, but I would, you know, on the newer models, they do tend to clarify a bit as to which arm is which definitely makes it more simplistic. So anyways, I digress a bit. Go ahead and slide that up and in. And technically, again, I'm going to say this has got to be the left arm, not the right arm. I'm not really a fan of the way that that's written. But we'll pull it through and line it up and see how it looks here. It goes on pretty easily. We'll go over a little bit more here. It seems to be caught on something. Come on now. This is always a fun part because you really can't see where it gets caught, but nonetheless, there we go. Pull that down a bit. It still seems to be
We're on 2%.
caught in something.
We're on 2%.
Okay, well, you might as well stop.